Hey G fans, GoGFan93 here, and welcome back to the King of Kaiju post commentary video series. Sort of continuing from the Let's Play that I did, but yeah, this is the Mothra episode, or I guess I should say Mothra Larva episode, and yeah, we're fighting Batra. And it's pretty awesome. So Mothra, let's talk about Mothra Larva in this game. So she is very interesting. Okay, first let's talk about her design. So her design's flawless. I mean, obviously, I don't really know how tough it would be to make Mothra Larva. She's super simple, basically a turd-looking thing, you know. But still, wow, that was a really good combo right there, Batra. But she, you know, with her design, because it's very simple, but it's also very unique. And the way that they made her is very good. Obviously, there is an SH Monster Arts figure of her, so you know, they had that model to use off of, and it looks really good. I really like her animations. Her roars are awesome. They you know, it's like they took them right from the movie. And her moveset's pretty good. It fits her character, like, you know, like pretty much every one of these characters as well. Oh, look at that! My screen is already red when I'm. Wow, that's really bad. Batra's kicking my ass. So now once again, I'm not sure if this one I actually finished. I'm not sure. I need to. I should have watched the end of this video before I started recording this commentary. But the one problem with Mothra when it comes to playing as her. Once again, kind of like with Anguirus, she just doesn't have good range. You have to get in close in order to get to an enemy, and when you're fighting a guy like Batra, it's very difficult, you know, because he'll do the whole, because Batra's like, he's like a dancer pretty much. When he does this move, I call it Batra dancing, basically, and Mothra's web attack doesn't really do a lot. It actually, it's a pretty pitiful attack. I gotta close my window here actually, just in case that any sounds come from the outside. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Well, we eventually killed Batra, so that's nice. I forgot, who do we fight next? Hedorah, of course. This is one of the things that I'm gonna complain about the game, playing it so far of what I've played. They make you fight the same enemies again and again and again. We have all these different types of monsters in this game now. We have almost over 20 characters in this game, and yet I noticed that Hedorah, Mechagodzilla, and Batra are like the monsters that you always fight no matter what. They will be in every single mode you play. And it's like, alright, well, you know, let's get some Biollante in there, let's get some Gigan or Space Godzilla. You know, I don't know if they do that on purpose, like they start with the Showa monsters, then Heisei and the Millennium. I don't really know, but as you can see, I'm gonna have a lot of trouble fighting Hedorah here, because Hedorah, like I say in the other videos, he's very tough. He's just a wall of poop, and it's a very tough wall of poop. So, but like I said, Mothra doesn't have really the best moves when it comes to far range. You have to get in close. Although the problem is when you get in close, Hedorah will just annihilate you, and you can't really get out of it, which really sucks. But I just keep on using the charge attack to get in close. But then, you know, Hedorah would do something like that. So there are some monsters where it works and where you can charge in there and really get some good combos in, but it doesn't work when you're fighting Hedorah. And he's actually almost killed me, but I see the video and it's way longer, so I don't think I die in this. At least I don't think so. But although I know the next episode when I play as Mothra, spoiler, or Mothra adult, spoiler, I do die. I do believe I didn't make it through the King of Kaiju mode with her. But Mothra Larva also is surprisingly tough when she grows bigger. I actually just recorded the long play of Mothra Larva's campaign, and she's part of the Defend campaign, and she kicks some ass. She, you know, when she gets about 90 meters high, she really does some damage, and you really can't block her or defend against her. She's actually really good. So I'm actually surprised at how well she plays. I would say she's compared to the actual fighting games, the Atari trilogy, she plays, I would say, smoother, but not really better, because obviously, you know, in the other games, since those are actually fighting games, they have more combos and more moves to them. But still, I think, you know, Mothra Larva is not terrible in this game. I thought she was going to be terrible, but she actually does have some really good moves to her. Once again, she's kind of on that low tier character, I would say, definitely low tier. Oh, see, here we go. See, we fight Gigan. See, this one made me happy when I was recording this, because I'm like, oh, yay, we actually get to fight a monster that I don't fight all the time. Like, Gigan is, you don't fight Gigan a lot. I don't know why, but, and I think, oh man, this fight was really tough, though, because Gigan's really tough in this game, too. He actually plays really well, but we'll get to him when I talk about, his King of Kaiju mode. But, there he goes, just doing that freaking charge attack. He does that all the time. It's really annoying, but I keep on forgetting that I'm focusing on the enemy instead of the character that I'm actually playing as. But there's really nothing else I can say about Mothra Larva. She is just, she's low tier. She's definitely the low tier monsters, in my opinion. From what I've played, from what I've seen, in my eyes, she's a low tier monster, which I think a lot of people would agree with, because in the movies and all that, she's not like a beast, you know. Even though 2 Mothra Larvas could take down Godzilla 64, which is just ridiculous, but whatever. Godzilla doesn't like to talk about that day. So, but yeah, I'm actually doing pretty well actually against Gigan. I'm actually surprised. And you know, every time a monster uses their special attack, I'll use mine just to counter it, because I don't feel like taking that damage. The only problem is when you do that, then you leave yourself open because you don't have your special anymore. So, there we go. I killed him. His head blew up, which I think was really awesome. And I actually found out in none of my recordings, I've never been able to blow off Mechagodzilla's 75's head, but it does happen. Oh, so here we go. Here's Mechagodzilla 75. So you can actually blow up his head, and in the movie, you know, that little dome thing is actually there, and you actually fight him with his head blown off. So that's really awesome. It never happened to me though when I've played so far. I've never encountered that, which really is annoying. I don't know how you do that. Maybe you have to be Godzilla and blow his head off with your atomic breath when he has low health or something. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure, but I saw a video of it and it was pretty awesome. I'm like, oh sweet, his head actually does blow up. So I like how they did that, and I wish they would kind of do that with other monsters too, like with King Ghidorah, for instance. Like you could blow his head off, like the middle head, like in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Space Godzilla, you could blow off his, you know, his shoulder crystals. I think that would be really awesome. Maybe make Destroya bleed from his chest like they did in the movie. I don't know, just like really cool battle damaged styles. And I think if they were to make another Godzilla fighting game, whether it would be, you know, Bandai Namco or even Simon Strange, if he would come back to making another Godzilla fighting game, I would really have it to where you would have battle damage, like like if you play Mortal Kombat, you know, throughout the fight the characters start to get all ripped up and bloodied and stuff. So I think it would be really cool that if in a Godzilla fighting game the characters would actually start to have their signature battle damage look, and like I said, for Mechagodzilla 74, like I think I said this in the last episode, it would be great if he you know, had the Godzilla skin first, and then the more and more you beat him up, the skin starts to flake off, and then it reveals Mechagodzilla's metal armor. And I think that would just be so cool. Now this is a funny matchup right here. Mothra Larva versus frickin' Destroya. And Destroya's tough. He really is in this game. He is a beast. Yeah, he is really tough. You know, just way overpowered. And I think if I haven't played his invasion yet, but when I do, I don't believe he can grow, because he's already freaking big enough. I think what he is just his power level will grow. Yeah, but also there's kind of an advantage to being Mothra Larva when you fight Destroya, because you're small, and look at that. See, he missed me completely with that special attack. So that's actually one of the good things, is that he can't actually get me because I'm so small that he can't reach me, which I just think it's hilarious. So there, I am turned around. I need to turn back, Mothra. So But yeah, his design's pretty cool too. But we'll get to him when I play as him. But yeah, nothing else really to say about Mothra Larva though in this episode. I think is this the final? I think this is the final matchup. I'm not sure. It might be the second to last. I don't remember. He's getting in some good combos on me right there. Actually, damn, Destroya. Why you gotta be so mean? Yeah, do you see how weak her web is? Her web attack. I mean, it is so pitiful. Like, they could have at least given more damage to your web attack. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of silly, but oh well. There we go. I'm doing my special attack. I'm using my last resort. Usually when I see the red screen of death, I always use the special and I just turn around and try to run away if I know that I just will not be able to take more damage. But yeah, eventually I do kill him. I eventually get Destroya, so which amazes me. I don't know how that's possible. Mothra Larva beating Destroya. I guess if Mothra Larva could defeat Godzilla 64, I guess you could do that. But and now we're fighting Godzilla 2014, which is, he's always the final boss, except for some characters. Some characters I ran into, the final boss was like Super Mecha Godzilla and who else? Burning Godzilla. But as for most of the characters, Godzilla 2014 was the final boss for King of Kaiju mode. So, yeah, really all I did was button mash, and that's really what it takes with all these monsters. There's only a few monsters where you can't button mash. I would actually say Godzilla 90s you can't button mash because you'll get in trouble if you do that. But Mothra Larva, you can just keep on charging in there like I'm doing right now and just continually hit the square button and the X button and use your heavy attack on the triangle button. So yeah, I mean, you can just keep on attacking them just non-stop unless they do their special and counter you that way. But it's really funny when you talk about the fighting system in this game. Even though it's not a fighting game, but it does have a fighting system. Even though it's very simple, it's very bare bones. The more and more I talk about it, I'm realizing it is still complex on its own right, on its own level. There's still things that you can learn about the monsters that, throughout my gaming of this game, I've probably put in well over 10 hours of this game so far, probably even more. And I've noticed that, yeah, some characters you can get better at, and some characters you can really get, like you can learn their moves. But that'll do it for this episode. I'm running out of time, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay big, G fans.